What's up, gang? Favorite night of the week. Just gonna wait for some of my crew to roll in, and then we'll get rolling here. Feel free to share the room out for us. Greatly appreciate it. And then you can tap on the mic in the bottom left if you want to join me up here on stage. Tonight we're gonna try to push our numbers here tonight, so make sure that you're spreading the word out. Gonna make the room pop a little bit before Alex gets in here. What's up, Zach?
Yeah, if we're gonna have a record room tonight, we need everybody to like and share the link here so that we can get to that hefty 1,000-person goal. I wonder if Alex is coming in with some heat tonight. I usually don't see him post about the Tuesday night Twitters until he gets in, but he seems very excited this evening.
Yeah, I'm noticing that. Hopefully, we get some fire tonight. So yeah, guys, share the room out. Every single one of you. you don't have an option. Share it out. Let's get this room pumped up, and then hopefully he comes in with some heat tonight. But in the meantime, as I always say, you can take advantage of me and Zach and Scott whenever he comes in. We are here for you guys in the meantime. Zach, how's your night going?
Good. I had some great calls today with clients, getting some people set up with corporate accounts. I just talked to Jimmy earlier, who had a friend who was also looking to set up a corporate account to move some retirement funds in. And people are really catching on to that idea that you can get crypto in these tax advantaged accounts and then earn that yield in a tax advantaged way. So I see that catching on, and also me and Elon on my team are planning to do some extra marketing specifically around that product and letting people know how they can get their crypto into tax advantaged accounts and then earn yield on it through Celsius. So pretty powerful if you can earn yield without having to pay any taxes on it.
Do you guys ever speak to them or educate them on earning and sell?
Absolutely. Actually, this week and beginning last week, we started a huge push on educating users the benefits of utilizing Cell within Celsius. And I think we just got some communications approved that might go out tomorrow or even Thursday about the benefits of being a platinum member and earning a Cell token for these mostly accredited users that we work with. So we really want to put as much information out there so that they can decide whether or not earning that 25% higher rate or paying 25% less on their loans or having double the swap limits is the right choice for them.
Awesome. Always love to hear it. Scott, welcome in.
Thanks, Josh. Good to be here with you and Zach once again, and looking forward to a good Tuesday night.
Best night of the week. Well, second best night of the week. Jay Gels, what's going on? Welcome to the stage.
Hey guys, stoked to be back up here. Hope everybody's having a good day. I just wanted to ask a couple quick questions. I'll start off with, I guess the easiest one. I was just wondering, when we do have referrals for other people, I've got a few different friends who I got to sign up for accounts, one in Canada, one in France. It was their first ever experience with crypto. They opened up an account, but funding it was just entirely too difficult. They couldn't figure out how to get any of it done. It was just too much of a headache for them, and they kind of gave up at the moment. I was just wondering if they fund the account, say like 6 months after the fact, do the referral bonuses still go out, or is there a time limit on that?
Yeah, so this is currently a bit of a weakness in our system where we don't have that onboarding capability. And if you look on the community page, you'll see a huge discrepancy between the total members and the active users. And that discrepancy is people that haven't yet funded their accounts. So we have this huge amount of people, like your referrals in this case, that have signed up, have passed KYC, they're ready to go, but they just haven't got a hold of any crypto. And we haven't been able to facilitate that yet with a fiat onboarding that we're still building. So to answer your question directly, there is a time limit. It's 90 days after they enter your referral code for you both to get that credit. If they enter that referral and they don't fund within 90 days, then it won't automatically happen, but we're happy to go back and manually credit that. Maybe it's something that we need to extend a lot longer. I don't think there's any really reason not to have it longer, but yeah, that's something that will get much, much better once we have a fiat onboarding that works efficiently.
100%. Yeah, I mean, all that sounds good to me. If you guys do get the chance to disable like that 90-day limit, from my perspective, a referral is a referral. And yeah, that's where I stand, but entirely up to you guys. The manual accrediting is super kind of you guys, as always, in terms of just looking after the community. Just had two other small questions. I was just curious, is there any kind of update with one, Revo, and two, the token roadmap that we are hoping to hear about sometime soon?
No update on Revo, just waiting for that to be announced. The token roadmap, actually, Josh and I were on a call earlier with part of the Cell Team 6, I believe is what it's called. And got some really, really exciting news from them. They're in the process of getting this roadmap kind of finalized and approved so that it's something that we could announce. So I'm very excited about that. And, I can't give any details of that roadmap, but it's definitely in progress, and hopefully we can get that out here shortly.
Very exciting. Thanks for the update. Is it Cell Team 6? I like that. Semper Fi. That's good stuff. Thanks for the update, Zach.
Yeah, thanks for joining us up here on stage, and hopefully we can get a Twitter Spaces AMA or chill session with the Cell Team 6. All right, next up, GT Nader, welcome up, and guys, remember to share the room out, please, every single one of you.
Yeah, thank you for taking the time. There's a option in the app called self-insurance or express interest in self-insurance. Is there any update on any progress with that?
No update on that specific product. Still something that we're building, and we'll announce when we have more details.
Okay, thank you. And one other question. Alex has mentioned a couple times you guys are doing Bitcoin mining. Is there any additional information you can give on that?
What kind of information are you looking for? I mean, we made a very significant investment of several $100 million last year and the year before into mining. And we've had a number of those machines delivered, but not all of them, and they're being set up across North America to generate more Bitcoin for the Celsius community.
Okay, thank you. I really appreciate everything you guys are doing. I have 3 accounts with you, including retirement, so thank you very much.
Right on. And how was your that retirement onboarding process, and who did you go through, and what would you recommend? A lot of people are catching on to that, and we'd love to share more about that experience and how it's working for you.
Sure. It was actually really simple. I went through IRA Financial, and I converted my old. They were all IRAs that were former 401ks from previous employers, but I had a Roth IRA and a traditional IRA, so I converted both of those into what's called a SD IRA, self-directed IRA, and once they were in that form, then it was really easy to bring it into Celsius. I mean, I went through your corporate onboarding process, one for the Roth side and one for the traditional side. And then I've got a third account with you that's non-taxable. So I've pretty much got all my money with you guys.
Why did you choose to put some of your crypto funds in that into crypto, first of all, some of your retirement funds into crypto, and then why did you decide to hold that crypto with us in those tax advantage accounts?
So yeah, that's um, a good question. So I mean, I'm a really firm believer in Bitcoin. I believe it's the future. I believe crypto is the future, but specifically Bitcoin as a store of wealth and a programmatic monetary supply. So I'm a very firm believer in that, and I wanted to own that. And I picked Celsius because I mean, quite frankly, I watched the AMAs. I researched you guys for months, and you know you are part of that decision making. But then Alex and his background, the honesty, trustworthiness of your team. I just really like how transparent, open you are. You guys have introduced multiple members of your team. You've shown how you make money, how you create the yield. That's what I was asking about the Bitcoin mining. It's just I don't know. I hope to one day meet you guys if you ever come to Washington D.C. But I just really trust you and have basically done my homework on Celsius. So that's why I have it with Celsius, and that's why I have everything in Bitcoin.
Appreciate that. And just to check, were you a plant in this conversation?
Yeah, I'm a client.
No, I'm saying, did we plant that question and coach you on how to answer?
Oh no, I mean, I didn't even know I was going to join this. I didn't even know you guys were doing Twitter Spaces. I just got a notification on my phone, and I clicked it, and there you were. So
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Last week we had some concerned people, but glad you came up, and thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for coming up, GTN, and thanks for the feedback. Much appreciated. Crypto Crazy, you're up next.
Hi, my name's Morgan. I'm from Australia. I just wanted to I have a question for Scott, actually. Scott,
Hello? Crypto Crazy, you're muted. Unmute yourself. There you go. All right. Maybe
I lost her too. Yeah, I'm not hearing
maybe
her.
she lost service. We'll move on to the next person. Bobby, what's going on?
Yeah, Josh, I just wanted to, can I save my position for later? Because I just wanted to thank Alex for the ambassador recognition. And I guess I just fall back to the listening position. And I just wanted to give him a shout out and, tell him how much I appreciate what he did for me on the AM, on the show, past show. So I'll just listen. If you can get me up later on, that'd be great.
Absolutely, Bobby. Yep.
Thank you,
Whenever
sir.
he comes in, just tap on the mic. It's back up on stage.
Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna check back in with Crypto Crazy. Are you good to go? Crypto Crazy, make sure you're unmuting yourself if you're trying to speak. All right, Tecmo, you're up.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I missed the company that GT Nader said he held his self-directed IRA with, because that's on my to-do list for 2022, and I've been doing some research. Which company did he say?
IRA Financial.
Okay. And are you, I don't know, are you able to say what their fees and stuff are, or I can just DM you later or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends. There's some, I think there's some variation depending on what services you get.
Okay.
But it's
Do you
right
mind
on
if
their
I
website.
up
It's on
later?
the website.
You mind if I DM you later just for some details?
Oh yeah, no problem.
Okay, thanks.
Tecmo, are there any other questions or comments while you're up here on stage?
Nope, I'm good. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for joining us.
Yep, thanks for joining us.
Joey, what's going on?
Joey, what's going on?
Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Crypto, can you mute yourself? There you go. Thank you. Go ahead, Joey.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
How's it going? question. I heard that you guys are going to be adding Avalanche and Solana, so that's super awesome. I just wanted to know, will those assets bear yields, and will we be able to borrow against them?
Yes and yes.
Nice. And last one, since I was so quick, do we have an ETA? Do you think by mid 2022 every Celsian will have swaps, or is that just going to be we'll kind of see how your account's doing for a little bit, and if you're like legit, then we'll roll it out to you.
No, there's a lot of regulatory factors that go into our decision making. I know there's a lot of people that are frustratedly waiting for swaps, and there's not a special list, or it's not about how much you hold in your account. We're really trying to roll this out to all of the places that have the most regulatory clarity, to the users that have all their KYC up to date, kind of as part of that. But at the end of the day, just like all of the rest of our products, there's going to be some jurisdictions that we're not allowed to operate in. So,
Yeah, I'm in Los Angeles. You got any updates on that?
I don't think California will be blocked. I believe some users in California have access, and you're just part of the general rollout that we've been doing every Thursday.
Okay, cool. All right, well, I cannot tell you the amount of windows and opportunities it opens up. When Matic was getting close to $3, I would have loved to have been able to swap some of that to USDC and just keep it on Celsius, but I didn't have that. I didn't want to swap it out, go to Coinbase, sell it, wait, you know what I'm saying? So, anyway.
I totally get it. And again, we're really trying to bring this out as quickly as we can, but in a way that's not going to cause any regulatory hiccups.
Alrighty, no worries. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for coming up, Joey. All right, Crypto Crazy, are you there?
Hello?
Yes, go for it.
Question for Scott.
Yeah.
Scott, my mother has been really hurt by you.
Hello?
Lost her again.
All right, well, I'm going to pivot over to the next person. SK, what's going on?
For Matic Coin, you guys only have for ERC20. Are you guys going to add the Matic network too?
Yes, we are. We're in the process of doing that now.
Is there an estimate time when that's going to happen?
No announced ETA, but it's, I think, a part of our overall Celsius X rollout.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments while you're up here, SK?
No, that's everything.
All right. Thank you for coming up. Big Bull, what's going on?
Hi. Yeah, it's going well. I got a couple of questions. The first question is about the Cell token. Personally, I bought Cell bulk when you did sales above 25K US. And I also use other platforms such as, Nexo, BlockFi, etc. So just wondering, what do you think is the main reason why the it kind of not such a good performance? It's about down 80% since I bought the Cell token, let's say, versus Nexo, which almost doubled in the same time period. Do you think that's caused mainly by regulatory fear, the fact that you're, not in, such a, let's say, DeFi friendly location like Zug, or do you think it's other factors? So that's the first question. And the second question is,
yeah, let's go one at a time because it's pretty complicated. Okay. So, I mean, there's a lot of factors in the valuation of a token. If you look at 2020, Cell token was number one, right? It had like a low of 3 cents and a high of 6.50. And then 2021, we had a high of $8 and a low of 3.50 or something like that, right? So, I mean, these markets are extremely volatile, and there's a lot that goes into that. So, there's that consideration too, is the overall volatility over the last 2 or 3 years. You can look at the growth, but I think something that Alex said that was a very enlightening to me was not only did we not focus on token utility 2021 and didn't add any additional utility that year, but we also didn't get to include all of our US users, where we saw a ton of growth over 2021. And so it's only now, actually starting this Friday, that you're going to have the opportunity to use the token utilities in the US if you're an accredited investor. So, I mean, this to me is a monumental step forward in being able to utilize the tokens utility at all in the US, which is a massive market for both the number of users and the total amount of assets. And even the total assets that are accredited is extremely significant. So I would say that's probably the two biggest reasons. One, we had a killer year in 2020 and markets correct. And then a lot of our growth in 2021 couldn't get access to that token utility and wasn't able to utilize it until now coming this week.
Okay, thank you. And the second question is about NFTs. So I see that some other platforms are now allowing, like not all NFTs, but CryptoPunks and Bored Apes to be used as collateral on platforms to make loans. What's your view on that? Not necessarily those two projects, but just the overall concept.
Yeah, it's definitely something we're looking very seriously at. There is opportunity there. We just have to be very careful of the risk and liquidity of those markets. Our core function is rehypothecating user assets in order to earn yield. And that's why we can offer loan rates that are so low, is because we're rehypothecating that collateral. But with NFTs, I know some are coming out that have some type of yield in them, but it's a much less liquid market right now, and it's much more volatile than Bitcoin or Ethereum or the other assets that we hold as collateral. So I think it's something that we will work into. I know we're definitely getting into NFTs and being able to store NFTs and.
But you can stop that. You can have like instead of saying loan to value ratio, instead of doing 50-80%, you could do it at 10 or 20%, right? I mean, that's also that.
Sure. I mean, we could do extremely minute LTVs, but that's still, even with those very low LTVs, we have to consider the market and a whole number of risk factors. Okay, I'm not saying that it can't be done, but all those things have to be considered. So. Like I said, we're working on it. I know Celsius owns NFTs, and we definitely want people to be able to hold their NFTs with Celsius. And then the next step will be monetizing those NFTs on the platform, so they can be borrowed against and other services.
Sorry, when you said Celsius owns, you mean the company itself is buying a portfolio of NFTs, not you as the individual management, right?
Yes, Celsius has NFTs. Alex has talked about this before, and Celsius has NFTs. I'm not sure exactly which part or which group it came from or the details, but that's something Alex has talked about in the past that we do. The company owns NFTs.
Okay, so thank you. That's my questions.
Thanks for coming up, Big Bull. Appreciate it. Next up is Crypto Farmer. And guys, remember to share the room out. We're doing pretty good, but we need to be doing really good. So, please.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
My question is, I'm a little confused about the investment accounts. Are you saying that current investment accounts that we have, like 401ks, like active like the one that I have currently with my employer, I can transition that over to Celsius. Is that what y'all saying?
It's a little bit more complicated than that. Here, we'll have. Could you go on mute real quick? Thank you, sir. It's a little bit more complicated than that. For self-directed IRAs, for example, you can put those in a vehicle and then onboard that vehicle with Celsius and earn yield. So if it is something that you're interested in, we can definitely get you an account manager, and you can have a discussion with someone to see if it would be a good strategy for yourself. But there is a way to onboard retirement assets and keep them in those retirement vehicles without losing that tax efficiency.
Okay. I have one more question. A few months ago, you all had the CEO of B21 as a guest on the AMA. And I remember joining, and I remember setting like an automatic investment into B21. But I started thinking, once I went back to that account to check to see how it was doing, it's kind of like the same thing. Celsius is 1,000% better, but should I be using both B21 and Celsius? I mean, like, I wouldn't be using. I don't see the advantage. The only reason I used B21 was because they were a guest. I was like, if they were a guest on the AMA, they must be good.
I mean, yeah, it's totally up to you. Oh, go ahead and pause it. Mute. Totally up to you. We don't give any financial advice. It's always, we try to only work with the best people, and they're probably worth checking out. And if it's a product that suits what you're looking for, then you just got to make that decision on your own.
Okay, got it. Thank you, guys. Keep up the good work.
Thanks for coming up to stage, Crypto Farmer. Appreciate the questions. Jason, what's going on?
Hey guys, I wanted to ask, kind of circle back to what SK was talking about. Zach, could you explain? Oh, first, Zach, were you able to flip the switch yet?
No, it's literally I got stuck with that. I'm going to be with everybody this week, so I'm flipping the switch. I think I'm going to see if I can do it literally on the AMA. If I can flip my switch then and do it live in front of everybody. But I can confirm that other people in the company that are doing the testing have flipped the switch and are actively earning Incel right now.
That's awesome. And what I was going to ask about, what SK was talking about, can you explain to them what that means, that Celsius will be with the Matic network too?
I'm sorry, what do you mean? What were you asking?
Can you explain what it means that Celsius is going to be also working with the Matic network?
I can't go into detail, but as a part of Celsius X, we'll be working with certain DeFi projects in order to provide unparalleled liquidity across a large number of chains, and then use the assets of the community to create new ways to generate yield and really create this entire DeFi arm of Celsius that has really only just begun.
Thank you.
Yep.
That concluded your questions, Jason?
Yep.
Okay, cool. OX Few, what's up? 0x. Yep.
Yes. Hi, Josh. Hi, Zach, Scott. Hello, team. I'm an investor. I'm an early investor of Cell Token back in 2018, and where I met Alex in Las Vegas and Seoul. I've never ever sold my position in Cell Token, and just recently I opened my wallet and I found, wow, and I want to thank you guys for doing such a great job. But my only I have like two questions. The first one is
Wait,
kind of like
if I could just ask, are you saying that you bought Cell Token in 2018 and then you haven't checked your wallet until just
I
recently?
haven't checked my wallet at all until recently, until like
Wow,
3 days ago,
what a
and
legend!
it was like 100x bagger for me. And
That's so cool. You have to tell Alex
yeah,
that when he comes in. That's so cool.
sure. Yeah, I would like to meet Alex. Is he in New York?
Yeah, he was just in the Bahamas, and I think they're flying back today, but we'll
Okay,
see. I'm
cool.
not sure exactly where he's at.
And supposedly, my wallet is like among the top 100 holders of Cell
Oh
Token.
yeah, you're on the top. Yeah, the top 500
If
list.
if if yeah, if by right. So
Yeah,
it was a surprise to me, and I feel like I lack fundamental knowledge about the Cell Token and Celsius network for now, because there has been a lot going on like in the past few years. So
yeah.
I would like to learn about what is the plan for the tokenomics, especially for Cell Token in the coming 2022, and what is the best earning program if someone has like Cell Token? Like for me, I have Cell Token. What can I do best with my Cell Token?
That's
Yeah,
so
and
interesting. It's like coming across a
because I don't want to clear
yeah,
my possession. I want to hold on
sure.
to my Cell Token while still make a profit. So what's your best suggestion? I want to stay in the network. I want to contribute. Like, what do you think is the best action?
Sure. So I'd say one of the top utilities of Cell Token is earning in Cell and getting those higher rewards for doing that. I'm assuming you're a platinum member because you have so much Cell Token, and that will give you 25% higher rates on all of your earnings.
Mm-hmm.
That's really one of the major benefits. After that, you're looking at discounts on loans, higher swap limits when it comes to your area, and then those are kind of the most immediate active benefits right now. And as we roll out more products, Cell Token is going to be integrated into all of those as they come online. But for you, I'd say earning in Cell Token would probably be the biggest single benefit to you right now, if that's something that you are interested in doing. Again, totally up to you.
I think he fell from stage, Zach. If
Okay.
he comes back up, we'll continue the conversation, and then
How
hopefully.
cool is that? An OG investor that just disappeared from his wallet and then comes back 3 years later, 4 years later,
Yeah, I couldn't imagine.
and is like, oh my gosh, my portfolio 100x.
Why can't that happen to me?
It's because you check your wallet 15 times a day. That's why.
How do you know that? Damn it.
Because I do it too.
All right. Well, hopefully he comes back in, and then maybe he'll come back in when Alex is around too, and then Alex might have some comments on that as well.
Yeah,
Melina,
story.
Melina, you're up next.
Celsius or its own entity?
Yeah, that's really interesting, and I'm gonna have to leave that response to Alex, just so I don't say too much. But yeah, I mean, it's Celsius has a mining division, and there will be more information to come around that. That's what he was referring to.
Okay, I'll wait for Alex. Thank you, Zach.
Thanks.
Yeah, and hopefully we hear more on that very soon. Very excited about that. Squid, welcome up.
Hey, hey guys. Thank you for having me. Really like Celsius. I've been following you guys for a while. First time speaking. I just had a question, and I don't know if this has been answered in the past. If it has, I apologize. My question's regarding XRP plans for Celsius. So I currently hold some XRP on Celsius, and I was just wondering what the plan for that is. Are you guys waiting for it to clear the lawsuit before putting any updates, or if anything is in planning? Thank you.
Yeah, we're pretty much waiting for more clarity on that, and once there is some, then we'll we'll decide from there and move forward. We definitely want to support XRP on our platform, but we just have to wait for that clarity before we can move forward.
Sounds good. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for joining us. ZeroX, I noticed you're back up on stage. ZeroX, are you able to speak? You might be having technical stuff going on. Jay Gels, in the meantime, what's going on?
Hey, I just wanted to. Can you guys hear me?
Yep, hear you clear.
Yep.
Okay, awesome. I just wanted to follow up on someone else's previous question. They were asking about it was some component of Celsius X, and I just wanted to ask. I know you guys aren't going to be able to give any specifics on this right now, but is there currently a hope? I'm using the word hope specifically, that as Celsius X launches and you guys add blockchains, that you guys are going to be able to raise the rates on tokens across the platform, including Cell Token itself?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what we do every day is try to extract more yield from outside Celsius and bring it to the Celsius community. So that's always our prerogative and what we're trying to accomplish, and do that in a very risk-adjusted way. So absolutely, a big reason for Celsius X is to develop an even stronger DeFi marketplace and DeFi tools that we can then use to generate more yield for the Celsius community.
Do you think that we'll be seeing results potentially on that front in terms of raising rates across the platform because of Celsius X before the end of the year?
I can't speculate on that because we look at our rates every week and adjust them accordingly depending on how much we're able to make. But I could say explicitly that's the objective of Celsius X, is to bring in more yield across an even broader subset of markets. And that launching in February will give ample time to get that mission accomplished by the end of the year.
I think that was a very thorough answer. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Thanks for joining us again up here, Jay Gels. Also, good question to ask Alex when he comes in. Joey, what's going on?
Can you guys hear me again?
Yeah, you're good to go.
Quick question. For US non-accredited, can you still be a platinum member and earn extra yield on your other assets? As far as I know we can't earn in Cell, but what about those other two things?
Yeah, you can still be platinum. You can still get some of the other benefits like higher swaps limits and reduced loan interest. The tricky part is when it comes to earning in Cell or earning premium rates. We're still looking at that and trying to figure out a way that we can provide that type of utility to non-accredited US, because it is tricky.
Okay, cool. Because I mean, even if we couldn't earn and sell, being able to earn more on everything else still incentivizes holding Cell. You're still going to earn some Cell. I think, right? If we have some Cell on the platform, we can still earn that 5%, I believe, correct?
Yeah. So like that's an idea that I thought was really interesting is having a in-kind type of benefit for platinum holders that are non-accredited, but all of this stuff is being considered, and I know that was in the ideas that were submitted, and there's a full-time team now dedicated to looking at this, seeing what we can do on a regulatory aspect, seeing what we can do on the company side, on the financials, and then moving forward from there. So we don't want to let anybody or we want to bring as much utility as we can to as many people, but we just have to do it in a way that makes sense for everybody.
Another thing I was thinking about is just for the people that, they ask about, people want sell utility in the token, but they also want that number to go up. The more swaps that roll out, people will be, as far as I know, we should be able to swap into sell, which is going to create demand for more sell, an easier way. You're basically turning Celsius into a major exchange to, obtain more sell token without dealing with crazy fees. You know what I mean? So it's like, swaps
swaps are fire overall, no doubt about it. The international users have access to earn and sell right now, to buy sell via the swaps. The US accredited, I don't think they will right off the bat, but I think they're going to implement that. But again, the non-accredited will still be blocked from, basically interacting with the token or being able to buy it at all or earn it at all on our platform in the US. And that's just because of the way that the rules are written, 1933 Securities Act. So there's a lot that goes into that, and swaps are really awesome and an amazing product, but it's not a solves all solution kind of deal.
Yeah. It's funny when you say 1933 Security Act, it's almost been 100 years later. You know what I mean? And we still got these same old rules. So hopefully crypto is the driver that makes whoever realize, you know what, we need to take a look at this, and it just needs to make more sense because people are missing out. So anyway, thank you again for taking my question again. You guys have a good night.
Yeah, I like to emphasize that 1933 Securities Act.
Billy, thanks for joining us up here on stage. Celturian, what's going on?
Hey Josh, am I coming through? Because I'm having crazy Wi-Fi issues.
Yep, so far you're good.
All right, brilliant. So today was a big day for the Polkadot community. The first of the parachains went live, so I got distributed my Moonbeam. Pretty excited about it. So my question is, Zach, are we going to be able to have Polkadot ecosystem tokens on Celsius?
Well, that's a great question. I haven't heard of anything about that yet, but I think that if they continue to grow and developments are made, I wouldn't see why not.
Also, a part two to that as well. Obviously, it's got a Canary network chain, Kusama, which isn't integrated into Celsius yet. That's if you do on chain, that yields over 20%. So, would there be a possibility of integrating Kusama onto Celsius? Because it would be nice to have another high yielder like SNX.
Yeah, Josh, didn't we talk about this when we did that Polkadot episode?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know about adding it to the platform. I don't think we discussed that.
Yeah, we didn't discuss the platform, but just that project. And again, there's tens of thousands of crypto projects, and we have to be extremely selective on what we can and can't bring online. But this year we plan on bringing a lot of assets. I think 3 times as many assets that we brought on last year. So this additional yield on additional coins and additional projects is going to continue going forward. That's our whole objective.
Brilliant. I guess I'll just have to keep my eye on Alex then, or even get a Twitter poll on the go and see how many people are interested. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Hey, you would be shocked how far a Twitter poll goes. Alex takes those very seriously. Or when a post gets a lot of likes or a lot of comments, that's something that really sticks out because that's direct feedback from the community saying what's popular and what's not. So, really utilize those tools as they come.
All right, brilliant. Thank you, Zach.
Thanks for coming in, Celturian. Guys, we're doing pretty good number-wise, but we could be doing better. So feel free to share the room out. Let everyone know that we're live. Once we get to 250 plus, I think we stand a good shot at breaking some records tonight. 0x, are you able to speak? Try to unmute.
Okay, yeah. Thanks for having me back. I was having a terrible network. So I got a pretty good idea about what to do with my Cell token with the current platform and its service. I'm just quite interested in the upcoming DeFi arm of the Celsius network. Can you teams share more about the DeFi arm that you're going to have?
Yeah, we can't get into too much detail yet, but it's looking like we're going to launch this in February, and it's going to provide a lot of services, including cross-chain liquidity, cross-chain coin minting, and extremely low to no fees on a number of services. So I think we're going to be releasing more information as that gets closer, and then we're going to have that team on the AMA when it's about to launch.
Okay, that's cool. And I know there's multiple like earning programs around Cell token, meaning that the users can earn Cell token by lending or borrowing via the Celsius network platform. Can you talk more about the burning program or if there's any staking program of the Cell token?
Yeah, so there is a staking program effectively, which you should have been earning this entire time, where you earn right now the rate's 5.1%, sell on sell, and that gets paid out weekly like all the rest of our rewards. And then you can also use that Cell token as collateral for a loan, and borrow against that massive appreciation that you've personally seen, without having to sell or create a taxable event in most instances.
All right, that's cool. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you for coming in, ZeroX. Alex, welcome in. Do you feel energized after your vacation?
I need a vacation after the vacation.
I don't know what that means.
When you go with your kids and you have to work on vacation, then you need a vacation from the vacation.
I see. Now I understand. Now I get it. Alex, we have a member in here who had their wallet, forgot about it since 2018, opened it up, and was pleasantly surprised, having not looked at Cell tokens since 2018. So now he's highly involved. It's ZeroX up here on stage, and he has lots of questions about Cell token and all of the new products we have coming out. So it was really interesting. I thought you'd be.
Yeah, it's the best way to hodl is to forget about it.
Yeah, Alex, thank you for the great work.
Do you have any questions for Alex ZeroX, or did you want us to move on?
Yes, I want to get my bonus token because I received my investment principal for the right number of tokens, but I still need to get my bonus token because like according to the SAFT or something.
Yeah, we have to check. I think that had like a 1 year. It was expired. The bonus was expiring after 1 year or something. So I don't know. I don't remember the exact detail. But if you reach out to support at Celsius.network, they'll check the smart contract and let you know.
Yeah, of course. And yeah, Alex, I'm gonna send you like DMs later on because we met in person before in Korea and Las Vegas.
Yeah, send it over. I'll take a look at it.
Sure. Thanks.
Thanks again for coming up, ZeroX. Glad you worked out all of that stuff with your connection. ETH 5000. I think you're up next.
Hey guys. I'm from Texas, and I've been a Celsius member for almost 2 years now. Two questions. First question is about stable coins. None are available other than DAI. Any idea when USDC or other stable coins will be in play for Texas?
I think we're applying for a money services agreement, so which that will allow us to do some of these things. So I know it probably will be filed this month, but I don't know how long it takes to get it. So it's gonna be a few months before we launch that.
Okay, thanks. And the next question is about swaps. It, do you do we know if Texas jurisdiction is going to be swaps will be available for the Texas customers?
I don't remember it by heart, but what we tried to do is create almost like a map, like a heat map that for the people that use the web app. So inside the web app, you'll be able to see in each jurisdiction what you're allowed to do, not allowed to do. So that's what that's what we're working on right now.
Okay. Okay. All right, that's good. I'll come back later. I'll let others ask their questions. Thank you.
Sure.
Thanks for coming up, ETH5000. Alex, there's growing interest around Celsius X. Could you maybe speak a little bit on it? Is it going to be like a whole new revenue source for Celsius? Is it going to be like, is this like a all roads lead to Celsius initiative? What is it, or what can you speak on?
Well, the main one of the main things is that it's using Cell Token for everything. So just like if you think of how ETH is benefiting from the fact that every NFT, everything is basically running on ETH. Inside the Celsius X engine, everything runs on Cell, right? So we'll be again making some announcements, and everybody has to do the math and think of how much Cell is going to be used by every one of those applications. So the main benefit for the community is the demand for Cell Token, right? There's going to be a huge demand for Cell Token. On top of us launching in a few days, we're launching Cell for US accredited. We're launching the Celsius X. There's a bunch of different things. They're all generating demand for Cell Token. These are all new. This is all new demand. It's not new users, right? We still have new users signing up every day. That doesn't change, but this is brand new demand that never existed before.
Got it. Thank you for answering that. Larry, I think you're up next.
Thank you so much. I have an observation and a question or comment. First, I made my first swap this week. Absolutely fantastic. So simple, so fast. Great job to the whole team. Alex, I hope you can take a vacation after your vacation for that. You guys have really done well on that one.
You're making everybody jealous because a lot of people still don't have it. So
I know. I'm sorry, guys, but it's worth it. You'll get it soon. I do another question on the accredited investors. When that became open, signed up online for that, and initially got rejected on that. There are two main services they use for verifying the accreditation. One is the Verify Investor. The other one I think is Early IQ, something like that. But I used a free one, and there are two ones: Parallel Markets and Accredited.am. And right now they're kind of steering people toward the paid services. And I just thought it is so in line with Celsius to eliminate and cut out fees. So if there's any way that you guys could allow Accredited.am or Parallel Markets to serve as the letter. They give an official letter from a FINRA registered broker. So from the SEC perspective, it should be just fine. So I don't know if you have already got that comment before or think about it, but that would be a great no-fee add-on for those who are looking to get more sell and to earn more benefits with that.
It's accredited.am or it's accredited.am?
Accredited.am, and the other one is Parallel Markets, I think.
Dot what?
That one I'm not sure.
And you can do a quick. One of you can do a quick search, just because I'm sending it to my guys, so I'm gonna give them an exact.
I've used accredited AM, and they are very good. Just like you said, no fees.
Yeah, exactly. And it was very quick. It took literally
Yeah, I
like
get
1
it.
business day to do that.
Yeah, Zach, do you have the parallel markets dot? Is it .com or is it something else? Just
It's
do a search.
.com. I just looked it up. It's
.com.
parallelmarkets.com.
Yeah. So, and I imagine the team is very swamped, so I feel bad for even asking them about it. But with the dip that we've had, I'm absolutely dying to get an OTC purchase of Cell. So I'm looking to get going on that as soon as possible. So thanks to the team. I know they're working hard for that. Just wanted to put that suggestion for you guys today. Thanks.
Thanks for coming, Larry, and thanks for the suggestion. Appreciate it. Rob, I believe you're up next.
Yes, thank you. I know there was discussion before about IRAs and LLCs. I just wanted to bring to the group this tax court ruling that was that happened in November. I don't know if people are aware of it, called the McNulty decision, and it addressed where assets held in an LLC or an IRA can be physically held. And up until now, I just, through example, I opened up an IRA LLC years ago to store precious metals coins. And I was told that I could not self-custody them, hold them at home, but I could hold them in a safety deposit box at a local bank. That turns out not to be true. And the reason that's not true is the judge used as a test, quote, unfettered access to the assets, or excuse me, unfettered control. So this brought a problem to the way many people hold crypto assets, and tax lawyers I've spoken to say it also applies to crypto assets. If you're self-custodying crypto assets on a Trezor or Ledger wallet for your IRA or LLC, technically you're in non-compliance. And the test of unfettered control is something that's going to become a big issue for a lot of the retirement companies that have jumped into this area. My question is, I immediately thought that I would be okay since I, keep my assets with Celsius, my crypto assets within the IRA, within the IRA/LLC. But then I'm wondering if unfettered control does not allow for safety deposit box custody at a bank. Is holding them at Celsius different?
Yeah, so that's a good point. And Celsius bought a custodian, GK8, a few months ago. And one of the reasons we bought them is to be able to provide just the basic cold storage service. So cold storage would be custody service, right? So again, I'm not a lawyer, but I would think that that's equivalent to, again, what Coinbase or what other people do. So it should qualify for all of these IRAs and 401ks and so on. So I guess we won't know until it's tested in court. But if GK doesn't work, then Coinbase or any of the main services, BitGo, all those things will not work either, because very soon we'll have that in the wallet. You'll be able to basically, right now you have two. You can basically just earn yield or have HODL mode, right? And basically you'll be able to have a third mode, which is the cold storage mode. So cold storage means I don't want to earn right now. It's fine if I don't earn anything. Don't rehypothecate my asset. I just want them to sit in cold storage. And for the IRA, it might be required that we just put it in that mode and not enable the other two.
That's very interesting. At first, I thought, well, this is a great driving force to move people, to move the ones that do have LLCs or crypto assets in IRA LLCs or IRAs, to search out, businesses like Celsius, because it's not going to work to self-custody these assets anymore unless you want to get into trouble. So that's good to hear. It's interesting if that's the case and we're forced to move these assets into cold storage, then they won't be earning, which brings up a whole other issue. But thank you very much.
Thank you for coming up, Rob. Lucia, you're up next.
Hi, everybody. A quick little memory and then a question for Alex. Back in the day when I first joined Celsius in middle 2019, when we opened an account, we were gifted one cell token, and at the time it was worth 8 cents. So it's fun to think about that one cell token in my account having multiplied magnificently. And my question to you, Alex, is regarding beneficiaries and switching accounts into, okay, so I have a personal account and I have a revocable living trust now, and I would like to have my Celsius account under the jurisdiction of the revocable living trust. Is there an easy way of doing that? I talked to compliance, emailed them, and they said I needed to turn it into a corporate account and do a lot of validation and verification, and I really didn't care to go through all of that and didn't understand why I needed to be a corporate account since it's just me over here. So I was wondering if you have any comments about that and what else might be possible now.
Yeah, so that's what I work on, and yeah, it's absolutely possible to put an irrevocable trust in Celsius, but you do have to onboard it as a corporate account, and just make sure you go through this process, and I'd be happy to walk you through it on a call if it's something that you're really interested in, and see if it might be right for you after you get all the details.
Okay, all right, Zach, thanks. And then another really quick question. Piggybacking on the last question about this potential new cold storage feature that we might have. If we do have that feature, will that mean that we will have custody of our own keys, or will it still be Celsius holding the keys of those assets in the cold storage?
Yes, if you hold your own keys, then you're not doing custody, right? You're your own custodian. So for many things that require custody, that will not qualify. So the feature will provide is basically free custody, free, like Coinbase and BitGo all charge for these services. They charge a lot of money. NYDIG charges 0.25% of your asset every year for this service, and you'll be getting it for free from Celsius.
Great. Thank you. That's all I have tonight. Have a great evening, everybody, or morning, or wherever you are.
Thanks for coming up, Lucia. Hardy Sailor, I think you're up next.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Thanks for letting me up here. Alex, I wanted to ask a hypothetical scenario where, based on the awesome deal you guys got on the $750 million with the two major institutions backing Celsius, when the valuation was done and their due diligence, and you have the 695 million or so coins, when they're doing that valuation, it's sort of a multi-point question, but did they look at the sale price when they were doing the valuation? And long story short, right now, if there was a share price for Celsius, would it be dipping right now in line with the, roughly the $3 sale token price? I'm looking for a relationship between the value of the company and the sale price of sale token.
Yeah, so the company, first, the investors started due diligence more than 6 months ago, right? So when they started the diligence, I think we had less than 10 billion in assets. So the valuation was set based on that period of time, not based on where we are today, right? Not based on our revenues or AUM, or we more than doubled employees just during the time that they did due diligence. So it took them a while, and we decided we could have just gone back to them and said, look, so much time has passed. We decided to change the valuation, right? And it would be in our right to do that, but we just decided that it's, all the work has been done. We didn't want to kind of rattle the cage, and we'll have plenty of more opportunities to set the true value for the company. So I don't think that 3.5 billion, which is the post money valuation, really represents the value of the company. And we'll see that. I mean, it will be tested very soon with few things that we're announcing, right? So again, the company owns half of all the cell tokens out there. So if you do the math and you say, okay, the cell token market cap is XYZ, what other assets does the company have, right? It has a mining business, it has the core business, it has Celsius X, it has all these things that are about to be priced, right, or about to be valued. And right now it's very difficult for anyone that's not inside the company to kind of do the math and figure out, okay, what's fair value for Celsius. But the main relationship between the company and the cell token is the fact that half of the tokens are held by the company, and as you can see from the public wallets, we haven't sold any, or if anything, we have more cell tokens now than we did a month ago, or we actually bought some tokens in the market, right? Like some from investors, we bought more than we needed during the weekly buys. So because we believe that when all these things launch, all the stuff we're talking about, that would be a good investment for the company, buying cell tokens. So each person has to make their own decision, right, based on the information that we share. We try to share as much as we can, and when you see us announce things about cell and cell token, about the utility, about the functionality, partnerships, all these different things, you have to decide what does that mean to you, what does it mean for the company. But the investors in no way are have asked us to do anything with cell or reduce our cell holdings, anything like that. The opposite, we increase the cell holding.
I think they might have fallen from stage. I think we're going to move on to the next person. GVP, thank you for coming up.
What's up, everyone? How's it going? So I heard that you're going to be adding Solana and Avalanche to the network. I was just wondering if you could confirm what other coins you're going to be adding in 2022.
Yeah, so we're planning to add something like 50 new coins, or basically double the number of assets on the platform. I don't have a list in front of me, but it's going to be a lot of the popular ones. So anything we're missing in the top 20 or top 30, I would say probably has a high chance of being added. And then other things that our community is asking for or is excited about. So some of them will not be yielding. Some of them will just be added so you can swap or you can take a loan against them. But we plan to add a lot of the popular and upcoming assets.
Yeah, that's cool. Maybe you should do a poll and see what other assets people want to add to the network.
Yeah, we did. I posted on Twitter, and we got a lot of names, and people DM'd me as well after the last AMA. We talked about that as well. So we got a bunch of recommendations, and again, if you want to throw a name into it, just either send it to me or send it to Josh or Zach or Scott, and we'll add it to the list.
Definitely. I'll throw you some names because me personally, I could quadruple the amount of money in my Celsius account if you guys just added a few more coins. So I'll definitely send you some names.
All right, we'll do it.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for coming up, GVP. Hardy Sailor, welcome back.
Yeah, sorry for the drop off. Alex, thanks very much for that. That helps me with my dilemma. It's been around since the Bank to the Future IPOs were around. So I think, me personally, I'm not going to go really heavy on the IPO when the Bank to the Future shows up. I'm thinking the Cell token is really where the best, certainly the quicker chances are, because when and if you decide to IPO and exit, or call that an exit, that's up in the air. And just on that Bank to the Future point, I did see a video, I forgot who posted it, that there's sort of a teaser to get ready, and I was just wondering if you had any update on when that was happening. Thanks again.
Yeah, so I came back from vacation, and the top of my inbox was an email from Back to the Future saying that my whatever verification was not up to date, and I wasn't.
Yeah.
And that was holding their posting their Back to the Future offering for Celsius. So looks like I was the one holding it up. I didn't even know. Like, it would be nice if they called me and told me, but actually I didn't have service where I was, so it didn't matter. But anyway, I took care of it tonight, and let's see if how fast they move now after whatever. They wanted to make sure that I was still around. It's like my garage calling me during Corona to see if I'm still alive. I haven't used the card in 6 months. So they called me. Are we just calling to see if you're still alive? That was what the guy said on the phone. It was amazing. It was like, okay. Yeah. So, we're again. I don't think I know a lot of people think it's competition or some kind of a race between Cell Token and the company or going public. One helps the other, right? If we're a public company, many more people will come to Celsius and use Cell Token. And again, if Cell Token is doing well, then Celsius does very well because it owns half of the tokens. So there's a lot of synergy. Instead of viewing it as a competition or somehow one side benefits sucking the blood from the other side, I don't see any conflict between the two. So if anyone on this call, where we got 334 people, so anyone on this call thinks it's a conflict, happy to have a conversation about it. Also, we want this room to get to 1,000, so please share, invite friends. If you click that button on top, you can see, on the bottom right side, you see that little button. You can share or invite or DM, so definitely you can share through Facebook, through Telegram, through whatever, WhatsApp, whatever you want to do to invite some people that you think will benefit from this call. Again, this is more for you guys than for us. We're trying to educate people, answer questions, it could be general questions. It doesn't have to be about Celsius, right? I mean, you want to ask a question about Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever, we're here to answer your questions if we can.
Hey, Alex.
Yep.
Denzel, hang on 1 second. There's a boatload of people in front of you.
Yeah, but I think I speak for everyone when I say that Alex should just shut the fuck up and leave the space.
Yeah. God. Rough, man. Well, first troll in a long time.
Alex, thanks for that. Your point about the competition is spot on. It's been that way for probably, like I was saying earlier, year and a half, and now I understand completely, or much better anyway. And I'm really happy with the direction you're taking it and the leadership, that particularly in the response in the last 3 or 4 months too. Everybody's really cranking on it. So thanks again. I'll sign off this time voluntarily. Appreciate it.
No worries.
Thanks for coming up, Party Sailor. Ron, you're up next.
Hi, Alex. I had a question for you, but before that, I heard you own some NFTs, or Celsius owns some NFTs. I'm wondering if you could tell us, what did you buy and how much?
Yeah, we again, this is the company, right? Not me personally. I'm talking about Celsius. We own a bunch of punks and other assets, so not. It was more about kind of learning about the space, and we sold some, we bought some, so it was not. It wasn't intended to create a library and change our logo to some NFT. That was not what we were trying to do. We are gonna launch an internal NFT effort So we hired a few people to work on that, and again, we'll be making an announcement in the next month or two about that as well.
Cool. All right. Now my actual question. I was looking back at some of the old Celsius Network like archive websites, just looking back at the top 500 hodler list. And I noticed that there was a discrepancy where back in March of 2021, it looks like you, as the machine, were ascribed only about approximately 57 million cell. But as of today, or a couple days ago anyway, it was about 9,600,000 less than that. I was just wondering, where did those go?
Yeah, so both me and my wife did a bunch of transfers. You can see we list some of the wallets on the top 500. Some of them are not. We did sell some tokens. It's not like we didn't sell any, but I can assure you that we still hold probably. I think my wife holds something close to 100%. Now with the yield, with the interest, she holds probably more like 105% because she hasn't sold anything. So all those again, I would call them idiots on the web that don't believe her or Nuke or me or Daniel when we say when we give you guys information, then they can go and troll somewhere else. So we are. I urge all of you to go and find one project, just one. Find one project where the founders hold more tokens in their project than Celsius. Just find one. And we've been at it now for 4.5 years, almost 5 years. And we believe that, again, that the token has not shown its full potential yet. Again, a lot of it is on us, right? We were not focused on the token performance and all that stuff in 2021. As you can see, we're launching big things this year, and obviously these things are gonna have major impact on the price to sell. But you know, there is no there's no rules in this business. It's not like somebody has to hold the tokens. Like holding the tokens is not an indication that you are what do you call it, honest person, or that you're working for the community or anything like that. I mean, there are people who worked for the community who sold tokens. Vitalik sold the ETH, so that does that mean that he's not giving everything he has for Ethereum, or the opposite of that, right? The founder of Litecoin dumped on his entire community 100% of what he owned at the top of the market. Does that mean that he doesn't care about Litecoin, right? So I wouldn't measure what me or Nuke or Chrissy or Daniel do as having anything to do with what the company does. I think you guys should just watch if the company is working for you. Does the company deliver things that are in your best interest?
Well, here's how I look at it, Alex. I mean, Celsius is going off reputation, and most public companies require executives to at least disclose stock sales. Obviously, like you said, I mean, you can sell some. That doesn't necessarily mean you don't believe in the company, but at the very least, public disclosure of those sales.
Mike, there's 14,000 projects. Can you show me one in which the founders hold more than Celsius after 4.5 years?
Alex, I'm not disputing that. I'm just asking is if you'll do the same level of disclosure as public companies.
We're not a public company. We're not a public company. So what the fuck are you talking about? Show me one project. You're in the crypto space, right? You're in crypto. Show me one project in crypto, not in a public company.
What's the purpose of showing some wallets if you're not going to show all of them?
When coins are sitting inside Celsius, you don't see them. You can't see the balance, okay? And these are owned by a trust. If they're owned by a trust, they're not owned by me, right? Legally, they're not owned by me. Doesn't mean I sold any. It just means that they're held by a trust. Okay? So again, anyone anyone, show me one project that you're all excited about that holds more token in percentage terms than Celsius founders. Go ahead. I have all day. I'll wait for you all day. That's what matters. Okay? So, again, if you don't think that Celsius is doing everything it can for Cell Token and for its community, go sell your Cell Token, go somewhere else. Go to another project. You don't have to be on this call. It doesn't. That's not the. This is not about how much tokens do I hold or don't hold. That's not the issue. It's not like we're working less hard because I sold 10,000 Cell tokens. All right, moving on.
All right, thanks for coming up, Ron. Next up, Bobby, what's going on?
Hanging in there, Josh. Thank you for taking my call. Wow, what a discussion. Anyway, I just wanted to thank Alex for the outstanding ambassador recognition and showing that video on the last AMA. And I just want to say I'm so proud and honored to be a part of this Celsius community. It's might be a little prejudice about that, but I think I'm right where I'm supposed to be. It's a great, great place to be. I'm learning so much and getting educated for free. It's an honor to be among you people. It really is. And I just want to welcome Jennifer, the new hire. And I just want to shout out some people that have me excited every day. People like Scott, uh, Alexandru, uh, South Texan, Tecmo, Cellcat. The list goes on. Araceli, Laura, Melania. So many people. And, we all come together and we help each other as one. So thank you for that, Alex, and thank you for what you do. Thank you.
Well, you killed it. That was a great video. I think everybody enjoyed watching it, and like I said, I think everybody saw that you're talking from the heart. You're working for the community. People love that, and again, thanks for being a Celsian.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. That's all I got, Josh. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for coming up, Bobby.
Yes, sir.
Next up is Mark.
Hey, sir. Call coming from France, so sorry for those bad English. I'm just wondering, I saw that 2020 was kind of, let's say, not as good because you didn't have enough, let's say, engineering power. Are you considering having, aside from London, maybe in Portugal, where you have been? This is my first question.
You cut out, so we didn't hear. Are we considering what?
Are you considering opening engineering spots and hiring more engineering in Europe, maybe?
Yeah, so most of our engineers are in Europe right now, right? I mean, our largest engineering center is in Belgrade. We have a few people in other countries as well, obviously in Israel as well, but we're country agnostic. I mean, the issue is more like for example, you can't hire 2 junior guys in London and open an office there. You need at least 2 or 3 senior people, and then you can put around them some of the junior people or people with less experience. So the struggle is to find those more senior people. Again, crypto is not that old, so finding somebody with 4 or 5 years of crypto experience is like everybody's looking for those people, right? So it's a big fight. And again, we are successful in bringing engineers from Facebook, from Google, from other crypto projects and so on, but also there's a lot of competition for that talent. And again, we're country agnostic, so if you have we're willing to buy a company. It's not just organic, right? If you have a group, 10, 20, 50 people, they might be working on a project that's not going so well, and they want to join Celsius as a group, we will be happy to to make them come in and work on one of the 100 different technical things that we need to improve or fix or add to the Celsius family. So again, geography is not an issue.
Okay, and last question would be, I'm trying to sell pay with sell, and it's not possible. How is that? Because I want to, let's say, initiate some people with that by giving them sale, basically.
Yeah, so self-pay is blocked in some countries. It's working just fine in many other countries. So it's really very specific to the local regulation in each country. And again, many jurisdictions have closed crypto services because they don't want it to compete with the local currencies. So if you look at Turkey or you look at Nigeria or you look at many countries like that, these services were available before and they're not available right now. So it really depends on what country you live in.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. I'm going to sleep right now. Bye.
All right. Good night.
Thanks for coming up, Mark. Switch, you're up next.
You hear me? Okay, so just real quick, I just want to mention Alex had a great interview. If you guys haven't already watched it or talked about it with Real Vision Crypto, talking about everything you need to know about yield in crypto, posted a couple days ago. So my first question, I don't have swaps yet, but I'm wondering if it will have a fiat on-ramp instead of a third-party wire gem so that the spreads are cheaper.
Yeah, so we mentioned we're working on that. That's one of the three amigos. And again, there's some delays. They're not technical delays. We finished all the technical work in December. You know, as we promised. We promised to launch it in December, and then we have some regulatory things that need to be resolved. And again, I think there's more and more pressure from states and other players to squash these things, and we just need to fight back. And I think we're gonna be more aggressive than we were before to make sure that our community gets access to these services. So
okay, sounds great.
So we're working on it, and sometimes
well,
they need us to get another license or another piece of paper or whatever. So it's just being delayed. It's very frustrating.
Yeah, that's understandable. But I was just mainly wondering if it's going to bypass wire or gem, because I don't like their spreads, and have its own fiat on ramp.
We mentioned that we use Circle, and I think Circle doesn't have any fees.
Awesome.
So it will be for you as long as you're going into USDC, you're not going to have any fees.
Great. So following on to that, have you thought about including a recurring bias feature, automatic?
Look, I would love to do that again. We don't have the engineers right now, so we have a roadmap with many things that we communicated that we're working on. Right, the three amigos, the three amigos the community wanted, which was again Celsius X, a credit card, and Cell Utility. So those are just higher priority than adding some bells and whistles to this or that service. So if you see us announce we bought a big engineering firm with whatever 100 200 people, then it's going to come quick, right? But until then, we're focusing all the resources we have on basically adding these amigos.
Switch, you fell from stage, but did you catch that last little bit? Switch, are you there?
Sorry, yeah, I got the gist. He hired a new engineering firm to support the three amigos, and it's higher priority. So just, do you hear me? Okay, yep. So just two more quick questions. Luna not in the U.S. I'm guessing because of regulations, right? That's basically right. Why?
Well, they received a subpoena from the SEC, right?
Oh, that, yeah, okay.
So
Yeah, right. I
so
read.
other people may be comfortable with it. The last thing I want is somebody shutting down this or that part of Celsius because we played coy with regulators, right? So we are much more conservative than Coinbase or somebody else, and we haven't had anything shut down to date. So I think that is the right way to do it, and
I agree.
that's what we do. That's what we're doing worldwide.
All right, and then one last. I think you mentioned a little bit about more USD supply could lower yield. I think in that interview. What other is that true? And also, what other factors fuel rate adjustments?
Well, so again, rates have to do with demand for in the institutional or exchange business. It's not so like drivers, for example, are volatility. Again, it's less important if the price is going up or down. It's more important if it's volatile, right? So right now, obviously, it's volatile, and
Yeah, more velocity or more trading
there was
activity.
also
Yeah, I could see that. But no,
right.
my question is like, if there's a lot of USDC supply, if it just keeps growing, will that lower the yield also?
The more USDC and USDT is in circulation, the more competition we have. Yes, so all that new, I think USDC now is up to like 40 billion or something. So all that money is competing with Celsian's money, meaning it could be USDC as well, but it's competing with the other USDCs. So the rates will get some pressure. It doesn't mean right now we don't have to lower rates. We're fine. But if our institutions and exchanges are not willing to pay 8.5%, 9%, or 10%, then we have to lower the
All right.
rates.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay. That's all. Thanks for your time.
And again, the Celsius is the only one changing rates. Everybody else has the same rate for 2 years now. So you have to ask yourself. We have to change rates every few weeks. The other guys don't change their rates, right? What does that mean?
Yeah, you guys stay on top of
Are
it.
they actually? No, but they don't. They're not earning that money. They just publish a rate. Look, Crypto.com has the same rate now for over a year, right? All they hope that you will use their trading, or the credit card or something else where they make money. They don't make any money when you stake with them, or when you try to earn yield with them, right? The only place they make money is when you swap or trade with them, and you don't check that with Celsius, because if you check, you will see that you'll get many more coins with Celsius every time.
Oh
You
yeah,
beat them every time.
yeah. You guys have
So
great rates. I see that.
so they tease you with the 12% on stable coins if you lock stuff for 90 days, because they know if you lock stuff, there's a much higher chance you will swap on their exchange. Because most people are lazy. They're gonna be like, well, I have gas fees and this and that. I'm not gonna go to Celsius for that. I'm just gonna stick on Crypto.com. You understand? That is the strategy. That's the mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
They're not working hard to earn that 8.5%. They just tease you with the rate, and then
If you something else.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks for coming up, Switch. Guys, let's keep boosting the room up. Share the room out. Let everyone know that we're live. We still got plenty of time left in the session, and I'm going to switch it over to Norm. Go ahead, Norm.
363. Come on, we got to get to 500 at least.
At least.
All right. So share, like, send it to your friends. Tell them to join. Again, happy to answer questions about anything crypto.
Hey, all right, great. I think this is a really good discussion we're having here. My name is Enoch.
Enoch, can you hold up just a second? There's a few people in front of you.
Oh, sorry about that.
No worries. Norm, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Josh. Hi, Scott and Zach. Hi, Alex. Which island were you on, Alex? I was curious. In the Bahamas, because I'm nearby. I go there often.
Yeah, I was in Nassau. We were at the Rosewood.
Paradise Island.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, I have a couple questions, but I'll limit it to one. Alex, you tell me which one. You want to talk about Celsius X or or the regulation issues?
Well, you're an OG, so you get to ask two questions.
Oh, great. Okay. So, Celsius X, I've read what I've been able to read on the description, and I see the word multi-chain a few times. And Vitalik recently came out and said the future is not in multi-chain, it's in cross-chain. And I wanted to know whether you think that's a kind of an issue in the way you're approaching it, given what he commented recently.
Yeah, so we were circulating that tweet from him actually internally, because what he's talking about is exactly what we built, right? So people use these words interchangingly, but let me maybe dig in and explain. So most of the things you have today are bridges between blockchains. So this or that project will take, for example, Polygon and Solana, and they will build a bridge between the two, and you can go directly from one to another. But that bridge is very unstable bridge, right? It's like those rope bridges that you see sometimes over rivers. Sometimes you make through, sometimes you fall into the river. Sometimes you get hacked. Sometimes the money never arrives. And all kind of other problems, right? So why? Because smart contracts are normally written for one blockchain, not for multiple blockchains. So the minute you're trying to connect two different blockchains, each one running at a different speed, running in a different direction, there's a very high chance it's just not going to work, right? So that's why Celsius chose to do a native solution. And we're not a DeFi solution, we're a CeFi solution, meaning we're natively running on Polygon and we're natively running on Ethereum, right? And we can basically do stuff on both chains natively without the need to synchronize or make sure that some smart contract is managing two blockchains that may be moving apart from each other, right? So what Vitalik is saying is that he doesn't believe that a solution like Polkadot or a solution like Cosmos is going to solve the problem here, right? He didn't use names, but basically he's saying that everything that's out there today is one way or another compromising in some functionality of this or that blockchain by trying to create bridges between those different platforms. Again, what Celsius is doing is native, right? We're the only native solution that's going to go live anytime soon. And the CeFi component here, the centralized finance component, is a good thing. It's if you trust Celsius, then you're in good hands, right? You know that you're gonna get whatever you put in on Ethereum, you're gonna get it to show up on Cardano or Polygon or whatever blockchain we're gonna be supporting, right? So, or the other way around, right? So and there's no way to hack it. There's no way to scam it. There's no way to use some kind of a flash loan or some kind of a hack to take advantage of all these things, which we keep seeing again and again and again, right? So what people want is certainty. They want finality of transaction. You want to make sure that none of these things could be reversed, and you want somebody that if something goes wrong, you can go to them and say, hey, look, I had a problem, give me my money back, right? Just like Celsius did with Badger or with any other incidents that we may have. So those are the things that you need if you want to go cross-chain. Now, cross-chain could be in many different ways. Ours is native cross-chain, and I don't think anyone else is doing native cross-chain. So those are the key differentiators. And again, we'll be launching our first blockchain very, very soon. There might be even something coming out tomorrow. I'm not sure. It's not coming out from Celsius. It's coming out from somebody else. But what we launch, just like we did with swaps, just like we did with yield, just like we did with loans, is going to be the best in the world. There's not going to be anybody out there who's going to show you something better for cross-chain security, compatibility, adaptability, instant availability, instant, right? Within a second, right? So that is stuff that you just can't get anywhere else. So those are the benefits of what we're talking about. And Vitalik basically validated everything that we put into our project, not because we coordinated with him, it's just because what he thinks is best practices is also what we think is best practices.
Okay, wow. I'm going to have to listen to the replay on that to try to take a little more percent of understanding what you said. But it seems like you could easily use the word multi-chain instead of cross-chain because, in a sense, the chains are individual. But anyway,
Right. So yeah. So again, multi-chain means different things for different places. So when you're CeFi, we can go from any chain to any chain. When you're DeFi, you can only do one chain to another chain. You cannot do multi-chain, right? Because you are bridging Cardano and Ethereum, or you're bridging Polygon and something else, right? So when you CeFi, when you're native on 16 blockchains, you can issue any asset on any chain natively, right? And that the star I'm talking about, can support 100 blockchain tomorrow, right? It doesn't have any limits. So that is so again, if you're looking at Celsius, we're one of the very few projects out of 14,000, very few, maybe, I don't know, 20 that never got hacked in almost 5 years, right? Never stopped, 24/7, 365 availability over 4.5 years. Didn't stop for 1 minute. So very few people can say that. Solana can say that. Many projects can't say that, right? I mean, besides Bitcoin, Ethereum, and maybe few other projects, everybody was down or hacked or had problems or whatever. So those are very, very important pieces, because if you want to be fault tolerant, if you want to be available to institutions and exchanges and retail and everybody else, your uptime is a very, very important component, because these people want to rely on you. They don't want to get to when the market is the busiest and be freeze or not be available at Coinbase, right? That's just not working for institutions.
Norm, did that answer your question? Norm, you're muted.
oh, sorry, I had a follow up on the Celsius X question comment that Alex made. Alex, you said that the cell was going to be the sort of like the equivalent of the way ETH is in the Ethereum. It's going to be the basis of all the transactions on the Celsius X. So does that kind of imply to me that cell is going to be like a cell gas, that you're going to need cell, that there's going to be some kind of a burning of cell or use of cell when you make a transaction that is sort of like a fee or a gas fee, or did I misunderstand you?
Well, gas is like old, concept, right? We're going electric. So in the electric engine world, you don't need any gas. So the point is not that you will pay for the transactions. The transactions basically are almost free. Sometimes our partners may charge a little bit because layer twos or whatever charge some fees. But the point is that we're not there to try to create fees for Celsius. We're there to create volume and more utility for the cell token, right?
Okay, so the partners will be kind of utilizing the cell then, if they want to use it, if they want to add some
Well,
type.
I'll give you one example. Okay, let's say that you want to go from Cardano. You want to swap between Cardano and whatever, and Ethereum. Okay, and the two pairs that give you the most coins are sell Cardano on Cardano and layer 2 of Cell and Ethereum on some other chain. Can you go cross chain with no fees and end up with Ethereum because you use those two pairs and because there's no fees? The minute there's no fees, obviously that's better and cheaper than anybody else. It's better and cheaper than Uniswap. It's better and cheaper than any pair on any exchange, right? So it kills everybody all instantly, right? So the fact that we're introducing more pairs that might be using Cell is not worse. It's better, right? Because it's an electric engine. It doesn't have any friction. It doesn't need a carburetor. It doesn't need a gasoline. It doesn't need whatever, a muffler, right? It just goes. Doesn't matter how many cycle you go, you're going faster, cheaper, and better.
Okay. Well, how does the cell? This will be the last thing. How does the cell then get utilized when you go from, let's say, Cardano?
Just like I just mentioned right now, right? To do that transaction, you need to transact in Cell, right?
So it gets converted into cell, and then
It's not converted; it's utilized. It's constantly moving through the system, right? It's just like electricity. How much electricity is there in the grid? It's constantly being used, right? All electricity is constantly being used across the entire grid. So instead of Cell sitting and not being used, if it is being used, then what happens to it? Is
okay,
there
I
more
got.
Cell or there's less Cell available sitting on the sidelines?
Yeah, think pairs, Norm.
Yeah, I'm going to have to contemplate that stuff, and I'll let somebody else come in, and I'll drop down to listening. Thank you, Alex.
Thanks for coming up, Norm. We'll go Javi, and then Enoch. We'll go after Javi. Go ahead, Javier.
Yeah. Thanks, Josh. Alex, welcome back. And first off, thanks for following me a couple days ago. I feel like I upgraded my Celsian status, so I appreciate that. Was there any update as far as I know it was talked about, I think a couple weeks ago, last when Tal was on here, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, as far as the 0% offer for loans, for Cell token loans? Is there a date with that or anything, or a closer range?
I have to ping Tal and ask her because I think it should be either live already or it's going live, but I don't have let me ask her.
All right, cool. And then one other thing, is there I think on the last AMA you said it too, as far as confirming, obviously, that our Celsius accounts will support a Polygon receiving address or Polygon listing for Cell, for example. Is there a date range for that as well? Like when we can send over our Cell on Polygon?
Yeah, so what, I mean, we support Polygon right now. The issue is more about you want to make deposits or withdrawals right on the layer 2, right? That's the
Correct. I have my
the thing. So,
Polygon on Dharma because
yep,
I'm buying it there because of no fees, but I can't move it to Celsius unless I bridge it over. So
yep. So again, we haven't announced anything yet. I think we're gonna. It's being developed. I just don't have a release date. I don't have a date that I can give you that will give you an answer to this. So again, the dev team owes me an answer, but they haven't given me an answer yet.
all right, okay, that's all I have then. Thanks, Alex. Again, thanks, Josh.
Yep.
Thanks for coming up, Javi. Almost to 400, guys. Continue to share the room out if it's not too much to ask. And we'll switch over to Enoch. What's going on, Enoch?
Yeah. Okay. So I think this is really good conversation. Awesome stuff. Kudos to the Celsius team. I have a crypto exchange operating in Ghana, and financial institutions are actually interested in DeFi. What can we do and work out with Celsius? Is Celsius open to emerging markets and institutional partnerships and relationships in some of these emerging markets? Definitely keen on having a discussion. Thank you.
Yeah, so we have a whole partnership team headed by Leah Jonas. She just celebrated her 4 years with Celsius. So she, again, one of the OGs. And again, if you're running, again, you have to be a legitimate, meaning, like you got to operate under the laws of the local country. And if you have that, then we're happy to add yield or loans or any other functionality to your. Doesn't matter if you have a tracker or an app that does already does a bunch of different services, like we did with Voyager or with Nuri in Germany or a bunch of other partners. Or if you use Bitfinex, Celsius provides the yield services to Bitfinex, right? So all these things, you could be an exchange or a tracker or a wallet or any of these things, and you can partner with Celsius on it, right? What we would check is to make sure that you're running a legitimate, compliant business, just like we are. So if that's the case, then reach out. Again, Zach can help me here on the address. I think it was partnerships at Celsius.network.
Yep, that'd be the
right
right one.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, we're definitely a U.S. company, and we're incorporated in South Africa, Kenya, and Ghana. So definitely, yeah, the parent entity is the U.S. entity. So definitely keen on having a discussion. I'll send you
Yeah.
guys
So send us an email or DM one of us here on stage and one of the Celsius employees, and we're happy to look into it.
Definitely, I'll do that now.
Thanks for coming up, Enoch. Taylor, you're up next.
Hey, thanks for letting me come up. Is it cool if I ask Alex? I kind of always miss Alex while I'm on here. I jump on too early. A question about like the crypto markets, or like, is that cool?
Yeah, sure.
So the Fed's kind of been getting hawkish lately, or more hawkish than people thought. Just kind of wanted to get your outlook on crypto in 2022 and what you think the year will kind of look like and kind of how it's headed. Thanks.
Yeah. So crypto is supposed to be a non-correlated asset, right? It's supposed to be doing better when people are nervous, and obviously the Fed doing the opposite of what the market wants it to do should make people more nervous. So in theory, we should be seeing Bitcoin, Ethereum, a bunch of other assets going up every time the Fed chairman speaks. But the reality is that most traders, most people that are moving the prices every day, not the hodlers, right? Hodlers don't move the price. Hodlers just sit on their coins. They don't buy or sell, and the price is determined every day based on how many buyers and how many sellers show up every day. So the buyers and the sellers are the same people that are buying and selling in the stock market. And normally, when they go risk off, meaning they're afraid of the future, then they sell much more Bitcoin in dollar terms than they actually sell stocks or bonds or anything else. That's why you're seeing stock market is down 5% and Bitcoin is down 25%, right? So the good news is that all that is already priced in. So what you're seeing, the price levels you're seeing right now are probably already incorporating at least 3 or 4 hikes by the Fed chairman. Now, and I'll tell you guys right now, I came back from vacation. I'm probably gonna buy another $10 or $20 million tomorrow worth of Bitcoin and Ethereum. I just didn't want to do it today because the banks are not open. But and again, to that genius who was talking about before, none of these dollars came from Cell Token sales. Okay, these are all dollars I have from the Subway project and all kind of other things that are paying me millions of dollars of dividends. So confirming here publicly, even though I'm not a public company, that none of me buying Bitcoin or Ethereum comes from selling Cell Token, at least not in this 10 or 20 million that I want to buy tomorrow. So the point is that again, no one can tell you if we're going up from here or we're going down, right? I mean, the price may be taking few more corrections. All the Fed chairman has to do is say something stupid, and Bitcoin would be at 30,000, right? Because it just has too many people in it that are not hodlers, right? They're just in it for the short term. They hope they're going to time the market right, and they're going to double their money, and then they're going to sell, right? That's all they're in for. They could care less about building the future or creating a better financial system or helping the people who are on this call, right? So the second scenario, right? We talked about the scenario where there are 4 hikes this year. The second scenario is that the Fed, for example, inflation comes back down, and the Fed doesn't need to do to be more hawkish, or basically do more of these, several of these hikes. And the Fed chairman changes his tune and he says, you know what? Look, inflation is much lower, or the labor force is increasing, meaning more people are participating in the labor force. Right now, there's a very tight market. Like Celsius could barely hire people in the United States. Right, we would like to hire them much faster. So the labor markets are tight, and all these things causing inflation. Right. So if the inflation is not there, if basically participation or the markets are not doing what the Fed is worried about, or for example, there's a large correction. If there's a 15 or 20% correction in the stock market, that's going to scare the Fed. They might not do the hikes if there's a major correction. Until now, we had a very small correction, or not a severe correction. Talk about the stock markets, right? So they think that they can stick with their rate increase. Now, if you go back to the last 4 recessions and you look back before the recessions, you'll see the Fed hiking each time before the recession. When they went from 0 all the way to 2 or 3%, normally the stock market went up with that increase. So just them hiking, and 4 hikes at a quarter of 1% are just going to get you to 1%, right? So that's not a huge. So it's going to take 2 to 3 years for them to reach a point where it's actually going to start impeding either the stock market or the crypto markets. So that's why I'm still very bullish on 2022 and even 2023, meaning we have not seen the blow off top that that I was talking about last year, and said that it's probably going to be happening in the first half of this year. But it is correlated to the stock market, unfortunately, right? So I think this cycle will still be correlated, and we're going to have to wait another cycle, meaning another 2 or 3 years, before we see a non-correlated behavior from Bitcoin to the markets. So I'll pause here and make sure that I answered your question.
Yeah, you did. Appreciate it. Thanks, Josh and team.
Yeah, thanks for coming up. Good question. Next up is Temujin.
Yes. Fireblock now supports Songbird. I just want to know, what's the holdup from Celsius?
Yeah, so we are integrating it. I think we announced it several times. It is a new protocol, so it's not like adding some bells and whistles on Ethereum or some other fork of something, right? This is a different animal, and Celsius is just much more careful than most other people who already announced that they have it, or they airdrop their tokens or whatever. So it's coming. It's one of the next few coins to be added, and you'll have it in your wallet if you had any XRP.
Yeah, I just saw Nuke actually talking about an update in this internally. So, something we're trying to get out as quickly as we can now that they've opened up support and we can work on our end.
There's no benefit for Celsius for holding these tokens. It's not like we are earning money on them, or we somehow benefiting from delaying giving them to you, right? So it's not. The again, we want to be safe. We want to do it in a way that works for the entire community. And if it takes a little bit longer, it takes a little bit longer.
Did that answer your question, Tojan?
Yes.
Thanks
We're
for
at
coming.
397, guys. Come on, few more ads, and we'll be crossing 400. Let's.
We got up to 405.
Well, let's get back there.
All right, guys, pump the room. Nutter Bear, you're up next.
Yeah, I have a question for Alex. Thank you for your time, first off. And I was wondering, is there any updates or something you can share about the iHeart partnership you got going on?
Yeah, so they started producing the first few episodes. So we're it's in the works. It's already happening. We don't have a release date yet, but everything is on track.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Looking forward in June when you arrive in the Netherlands to the Celsius meetup.
Sure, look into it as well.
Okay, thanks. Bye bye.
Thanks for coming up, Nutter Bear. SCW, you're up next.
Hey, thank you. This is my first time joining the space, and I'm really enjoying it. Greetings from Sydney, Australia. I have a short question, and I don't know if a question or a comment. The question is very simple. I'm a platinum member in Australia. Should I be expecting swaps to be available to me? And the comment / question is the following. I follow different DeFi projects, and I noticed that Olympus DAO is just came up with an idea which I found pretty neat, which is called Olympus Give, where basically the rebasing of the token can be donated to a charity or to an initiative that you like. So I thought that would be really cool to have something like that with the CEL token, where I could actually, for example, every second week I could donate my CEL yield, my CEL interest to a charity that I like, or to an initiative that I like. So also wondering if you have any projects along the lines of working with non-for-profit institutions. Thank you.
Trying to do things like you said. For DAOs, it's a little bit easier with tax and other implications. But we are trying to, again, Celsius is a much larger company than a lot of these projects. They don't even have a legal department, right? A lot of these people, we have more lawyers than they have a total people working on the project. So all these things that seem so easy for DAOs or for this or that project that's running offshore are much harder for companies that are trying to stay compliant in 200 countries around the world. But we have different initiatives that involve donations, and as to the swaps, we're going to be publishing again much more detailed information so people can know. I know a lot of people are waiting and they don't know if they're going to get it or not, which jurisdictions are available or not. So we are going to basically provide much more information, especially to all the international users. And you'll be able to see that, log in and see that, and you'll know if it's coming or what you're missing to get it. Or, for example, you have to wait for us to get some kind of a license, or wait for us to do something for it to be available in your country. So again, we're working on that. We just didn't want to delay the launch and get it at least to the people who could use it right away. And I don't know, Zach or Josh, do you guys know about Australia? Is it what's the status there?
As far as I know, nobody has access yet, but don't know if that's going to be long term or we're just waiting for the right license.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. I think that answers my questions. And yeah, I understand that when it comes to CeFi versus DeFi, the regulatory framework, and especially since you guys are doing it so well, where you're actually following every rule that you should follow. I understand that these initiatives can be a bit easier said than done. So I appreciate that. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for coming up, SCW. Next up is Celturian.
Yeah, thanks, Josh. Hey, Alex. I hope you're doing well, mate. I've got a comment and I've got a simple question after the comment. So, going back to the heated sell debate, whether you're taking loans or selling for reinvestments or living expense, you deserve it. You've earned it. And my question is, when UK sign-ups? Have you got an update on that?
Yeah, so we wanted to open it the first of the year, as we mentioned. I think you saw the UK regulators actually have tightened the belt, including questioning if staking for ETH or for Solana or Cardano is considered a security, and they're basically chasing all the people who are offering that in the UK. So we want to just hold off a little bit more to hear back from them. We did open swaps in the UK, so they're available to many of our users. But new registrations just involve, again, we have, I think, a third of all of our coins are staking coins, right? So it just paused the new question that we were not ready for. It just came in the last few days of the year, and it was just very frustrating that they keep pulling rabbits out of the hat. So we just want to be careful about that and wait for an answer before we press the button. But we have thousands of people who are waiting to register in the UK, so it's definitely frustrating.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. This is the way.
Yep.
Thanks for coming up, Celturian. Next up is Craig.
Yeah, just a quick question. With Celsius, you can wire out funds using a loan, but I can't just wire out USDC. I got to take a loan, and then you have that 1% fee for 6 months.
You mean, because you're taking a loan in the USDC?
Well, you just take a loan, you can wire out the funds, but you can't just wire out your USDC without taking the loan.
Yeah, but the loan, the USDC, the fiat also costs you 1%. So I don't understand the difference.
I just want to wire out funds. I don't want to take a loan, and I can't do that.
If you have money in Celsius, right, you can always convert your coins into USDC and take them out and then convert them on Coinbase or somewhere else, right? So there's no fee, there's no withdrawal fee, there's no conversion fee, there's no exchange fee. So I'm not sure what you mean by the 1%. If you have assets on Celsius, you just take them out. You don't need to take a loan. The only reason.
But USDC, if you're taking a large amount of cash out of your account and to go through Coinbase and then ACH it back to your bank, it takes like weeks and weeks. So I just want to do a wire transfer of USDC straight to my bank, but you can't.
Yeah, but we don't hold dollars. We don't have dollars in Celsius, right? So because we're not a bank, because we're not a bank, we cannot hold dollars. We can hold USDC, we can hold Bitcoin, we can hold Ethereum. We cannot hold US dollars. So the only way I can give you dollars is if you took a loan. When you take a loan, I'm allowed to basically borrow the dollars from somebody else and send them to you from a bank. You understand? That's the only function I'm allowed to do. I'm not allowed to.
So it's like it's a regulatory issue.
Exactly. It's it's because we're not a bank. We're not we're not part of the banking system, the normal banking system, right? We're operating in that bridge between traditional finance and centralized finance.
Got it. Thanks, Alex.
Yep.
Awesome app.
Thanks.
Thanks for coming up, Craig. Alap, you're up next.
Well pronounced. Thank you. Alex, 2 questions. One,
if somebody's building applications for your platform right now in order to interface, serve Celsius users, it still requires manual input of API keys and secret keys. Is that still true, or am I missing something on your platform? And if you
Well,
don't know the answer, who's the best person to take it with?
you have to at least once connect your platform to our platform, and that requires you to take the keys that we give you, right, and connect, to our API platform. But after that, it's fully automated. You don't need to do it every time. So, I mean, all of our partners are transacting automatically with Celsius. So we're not obviously not requiring everybody to manually transact with us. So if you have any kind of manual stuff, that's because you probably didn't implement it right. So just reach out to our technical team, and they'll fix it with you.
Cool. The second question would be, given kind of your background, where do you see the next kind of stage going if you had to make top 3 predictions for 2022 in regard to trends that we'll see? What would you say they are?
Well, I think everybody is now talking about regulation. We've been talking about it since 2017. Mm-hmm. So I think finally everybody is coming to where Celsius has been since the beginning. And DeFi, everybody is going to have to be there. It's not just CeFi, right? DeFi, everybody else is going, NFTs, everybody is going to have to bow down to the regulators because they're just going to shut you down, right? So I think that's going to be a big shift, which is going to slow down everybody else, right? We already done all of that work, so we can accelerate this year while everybody else is just slowing down to adjust and fix and change directions or relaunch or whatever, right? So 2022, the big question is really, are we going to see huge launches from other chains? So like, for example, Cardano or Polkadot or Solana gonna really do big launches. I think again, I've said this to Charles, I've said this to every other chain in a good way. I'm not making fun of them or anything. I said to them, like, chasing what Ethereum has, which is DeFi and NFTs, is a recipe for disaster. It's meaning you better come up with a new market. You better create a new solution, a new platform, rather than try to steal something from another chain, which is what most people are trying to do. And again, in this thing, Celsius is fully neutral. We don't have our own chain, unlike Crypto.com and Binance and other people. We did not launch our own chain when we got big, right? The opposite. We want to build bridges and roads between all the different chains rather than create our own. And that's our strategy. We think that is the winning strategy. And you'll see probably in 2023 or 2024, you're going to see other people realize that they're going to pivot towards what we're talking about rather than try to launch yet another blockchain. So those are kind of like I would say the big things. If Ethereum launches ETH2 successfully and cuts the fees dramatically, and increases the throughput as promised, it's really going to dry up all the volume for other chains. So really, the clock is ticking down, and a lot of these other guys need to come up with something else, right? They got to come up with some other trend. And Celsius bet on yield. Obviously, we were the first ones to do that. We bet big on mining. We put over 500 million into mining. That was the right bet. And now we're betting on this native cross-chain capability, right? We're betting big on that. And again, we're betting that these other chains are going to come up with new exciting innovation, not necessarily again steal from what already exists on Bitcoin or on Ethereum.
right, cool. Thank you. By the way, in regard to the first question, I DM'd you a while ago, and you mentioned you do have OAuth, but it's only on the back end on your side, so it's not available to partners or like third-party companies who may want to interface with Celsius users. And I've seen that on other platforms that are utilized. Is that the right way? And if I'm distracting from the audience, who is the best person, like individual, to take it with, or email?
Yeah, so we are gonna launch a full API. Like right now, API is I would say is maybe 20% of what it's going to be.
Right.
And so when we're launching the full stack, you will have all of there and other kind of native
Connectivity
services.
options.
Yes.
Cool.
So
is there ETA or?
I think the next kind of part of the stack is lending and custody. So those are. So I think it's going to be identity management and all that stuff.
Q1, Q2.
I think it's a Q2 release. Yes.
Fantastic. If I wanted to get further information, where would I go?
I think that's with our innovation team. So I don't have Wasim's. Wasim is on Twitter. So just if you follow him, Zach, do you know his handle? Like what's?
Yeah, I think he's just Wasim at Celsius.network or.
Perfect. I think I can
figure
it out with that much
if
info.
you
Thanks,
find him
guys.
on Twitter, you'll see him. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Alex.
Yep.
Thanks for coming up, all up. Lloyd, you're up next.
Hey guys, how you doing? My initial question was going to be related to swaps actually, but just wanted to pick up first on what you were saying there, Alex, about the FCA looking into staking in the UK. Is that something they've approached you directly asking about? Because there doesn't seem to be much in the online news media on that.
Yeah, it wasn't about us. It was publicly mentioned. I don't remember if it was Cointelegraph or somebody else, but it wasn't something they approached us about. So it's more I'm just talking about what they're busy with, and they're basically slow responding to everybody else because they're busy with this, and they're trying to determine what it is and how it should be regulated or monitored, and just so we're not getting answers. We need to get answers from them.
Yeah, hopefully they're not going to suspend the option to stake on the crypto as a whole, or even just certain assets. But yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see on that one. And then on the swap side, is your priority at the moment to kind of get who you can on the swap product before rolling out kind of other assets such as more stablecoin options and gold options?
Yeah, so these are parallel tracks. It's not like one is delaying the other. So launching new assets or adding people to swaps are separate teams. So one is not slowing down the other. On swaps, it's more about you have to re-qualify some people because we don't know certain things about them, and you need to either ask them these questions or you need them to fill the information or get us updated docs or whatever. And the team, systematically is just going out to. This is all over the world, including the U.S. Going out to people and telling them, okay, well, your home address doesn't match your driving license, or the passport you gave us expired, or all kind of things like that before we can activate any new feature, right? So for a lot of people, there's over 100,000 people that have swaps and haven't used them, and then there's tens of thousands of people who are standing by and they're dying to have it, and they're missing something small and they just don't know what they're missing until somebody actually reaches out to them and tells them, look, this is why you're blocked. So that's what's happening. And again, that team is just grinding through these, and they're adding as fast as they can. Sometimes they add 20,000 people in a week. Sometimes it's only 5,000. It really has to do with the complexity of the different groups and what they're missing.
Yeah, I updated my passport last week actually, and then this week just gone. I actually got the swaps, so I think that kind of thing certainly helping. My previous one hadn't quite expired, but sure, having a much later one probably helped. But yeah, I mean,
It's frustrating for a lot of people on this call and other people. They don't know what's missing, so it's frustrating. They're like sitting there saying, "Wait, I'm platinum. How come you're not treating me like a king?" And until they get to your profile and your document and they know exactly what's missing, the system doesn't automatically flag it and let you know. And we don't have like a bot that knows how to do all that stuff because it's different things in different countries.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just a bit of feedback on the swaps. It just feels you kind of just get this feeling now where it's kind of you've just got more control, and if there's something you do want to change quickly, but for example, rebalancing your portfolio, particularly at the moment, you just feel like it's just so much easier, and I don't have to go into this. And I've also moved things across from other kind of hodl and yodel apps as well, and I think hopefully more people will do that, bring in more assets, and obviously it's even better than for Celsius. So hope that continues for everyone.
Yeah, and I urge all of you to compare one-to-one. Just use any other platform, especially the ones that claim to have higher yields. They all make their money by charging you fees on the swaps, on the trades, on the other things, right? They have to make the money somewhere, right? And subsidize because they're subsidizing. They're not earning that money on the yield. So I urge you to look at how much they charge you on those spreads, right? And compare apples to apples and post it and teach other people because there's a lot of people who don't have the time or they don't know how to do it, and they're paying crazy fees to all these platforms, and they think they're earning more. They think they're actually ahead. Meanwhile, they're being ripped off, and those people then take your money and buy put their name on stadiums and laugh all the way to the bank.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for the input. Yeah, that's all my questions. Thanks.
Thanks for coming up, Lloyd. M. Riddle, you're up next.
Yeah, thanks, Josh. I have a couple of questions for you, Alex. First is regarding the cell token, right? So I understand the total number of cell tokens we have is 675 million outstanding, and I know you're buying the cell tokens to pay the yield and also to the the additional 10% to burn. So how much of that cell token is in the market, like the free float, from which you're buying?
Yes, that's published number. I don't have it in front of me. Josh or Zach or Scott, do you guys have it in front of you? The circulating
Yeah,
supply?
off the top of my head, I want to say it's under 10 million tokens. Really, the vast majority are a combination of owned by Celsius, which has about half the supply, and then the Celsians that are hodling their coins with Celsius. There's some Cell token that are just in ETH wallets that just haven't been
No, but
moved.
like what I think the way we should calculate it is what is not in treasury or not deposited at Celsius. That's really the kind of
Yeah.
circulating supply. So what's out of 695 million, you think what number is deposited in Celsius and is in treasury?
Yeah, and there's an unknown amount of tokens that are held by outside addresses that just haven't moved them. But I would say like the on exchange tokens is less than 10 million that are like liquid available on the market at this very moment. We'd have to do some more research to get like the other number that you're referring to.
Okay. And second question I had, you mentioned about the Fed raising interest rates this year. So how would that affect the yield you will be earning, by lending the coins to the institution and providing liquidity? My point is like, typically the banks raise the rates as the Fed raises the rates. So would that also boost the yield, or what's your outlook on that?
Yeah, so normally increase in rates would mean less, meaning less people buying or trading Bitcoin, less people trading, less volatility. Less volatility means lower rates for Celsius, right? So that's normally the case. Now, at some point, right, the Bitcoin and other major crypto assets like Ethereum should decouple. They should not follow the stock market, meaning if enough institutions bought Bitcoin, if enough hodlers bought Bitcoin, they will represent the vast majority of the daily trades, and then the traders, the people, the manipulators, the people who are just day trading or in and out, jumping in and out, are not going to control the price of Bitcoin. Today, they control the price of Bitcoin, right? And that's why, in my view, I might be in the minority here thinking that way, but in my view, the reason Bitcoin is correlated to the stock market is because we don't have enough institutions and we don't have enough hodlers who are actually buying or adding or selling or swapping to other assets. So when we see the decoupling, and decoupling means consistently, meaning several times, the stock market, for example, goes down, but Bitcoin goes up. The stock market goes sideways, but Bitcoin goes up, right? If you start seeing that consistently, then you know that these hikes, interest hikes, are actually good things for Bitcoin. They're good things because if you have hikes, that means that there is much more risk, and when you have much more risk, you want to be in a non-correlated asset like Bitcoin.
Okay, thanks for sharing that outlook. And one final question I had regarding other blockchains, like for example, crypto.com, right? They issued the Kronos mainnet, and what they are building is like EVM, the Ethereum virtual machine, where you can migrate your apps from Ethereum to the Kronos. Um, so why do you think that will not impact Ethereum, and why are you so bullish on Ethereum, especially after Ethereum 2.0, when it becomes more efficient and there's less need for Ethereum? Why are you so bullish on Ethereum?
So what Crypto.com is doing, everybody else already did, right? Binance already has an EVM. Cardano launched their EVM, right? Polygon has an EVM. Everybody has an EVM. So how many EVMs do you need? Now, Ethereum has 10 times more programmers, 10 times, not 2 times, 10 times more programmers working on things for Ethereum than any other project. 10 times, right? So that's what matters. So the minute they lower their transaction costs, many things that you cannot do on Ethereum will immediately start running on Ethereum, right? So if all the liquidity and all of the transactions are happening on Ethereum, why would you go to what do you call it, to crypto.com? Why would you run on their chain? What's the innovation? What is better on running on some side chain of Ethereum?
Right. Okay. But it seems they have a tie-up with Circle to issue USDC on that chain.
We also have a tie-up with Circle to issue USDC. So what? That's nothing. That's anyone. You can get that too if you want it.
Okay. Okay.
There's
Thanks for
no
clarity.
look again. I was saying that before, right? With the guy before you or the one before him, I said you cannot win against Ethereum by copying what Ethereum does and try to steal NFTs or steal what even Binance. Binance is 100 times bigger than Crypto.com. You understand? And even they couldn't do it, right? So if they couldn't do it, why would Crypto.com be successful?
Okay. Makes
Right?
sense.
I mean, you can see that the Binance Smart Chain, which is an EVM, was mainly used for rug pulls and for scams. Unfortunately, I'm not saying it like in a I'm not making fun of Binance. They tried their best to steal the best projects and the best people and everything else, and they ended up with bad things, not good things. So if you want to win, you don't have to win by stealing from Ethereum. You can win by inventing something new or better, and launch that. That's what we're trying to do, right? We're not trying to steal anything from anybody. We're not trying to create another chain.
Josh, can you hear me?
Yes. Is it Alex cutting?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think Alex
that's what I
cut
was
off.
checking out. Yeah,
Yep.
it is him.
Okay, Alex, if you can hear us, your signal's a little off. All right, Alex just fell from the stage. Emriddle.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Zach fell too
Yeah.
from the stage.
Oh man, that's...
Yeah, Josh, I'm here.
Did you get the majority of your question answered?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, something weird happened. Like Zach fell from stage, Alex started glitching.
Hey guys, while we're waiting for Alex, I would love to share a story with the Celsians that are concerned about price.
Sure, go for it, Ace.
Yeah, so I've been a Celsian since July 2019, and have rode the wave from I think I got in at 7 cents to wherever it is right now. But the story is with another coin. I bought another coin around probably $1 or $2. Rode it up through the bull market of 2017, held it through the bear market, and then as we started the bull market again, the coin just wasn't doing anything. It was just staying stagnant. Probably went to around $30 or so. I got impatient and I ended up selling it. Literally within a month, guys, the coin was over probably $300, and it's over $450 or so right now. And I'm telling you guys, I'm getting the same vibe with Celsius, that it's a legitimate project. I'm not sure when or if it's gonna have a similar trajectory, but I'm betting on Alex and the team that it will eventually, the value of the coin will eventually catch up with all the great things that the team is doing. So I would encourage you guys just to stay focused on all the services and value that they're driving. The coin will eventually catch up. And I don't know if Celsius is going to have a similar trajectory to the other coin, but clearly I'm betting it will. So just would encourage everyone to stay patient.
I wouldn't thought other coin was BNB.
It was BNB. It's it cost me a lot of money to sell it, and frankly, if Celsius offered yield on it, I probably would have just sat and never sold. And frankly, that was one of the reasons I sold it. I'm a US guy. I couldn't even log on to Binance, and eventually sold it. So big regret. I have similar vibes with Celsius, but just encourage you guys to hold.
I think we offer BNB for non-US, I think, right?
Yeah, but he's a US user.
Yeah, I'm a US based. And to help answer another question that was asked.
Oh yeah, just to answer your look, I mentioned it a few times that BNB is one of the very few things like Celsius that has limited supply and has a burn function. But even BNB does not buy from the market. right? So Celsius has one more thing on top of BNB, right? That even BNB doesn't do, which is that Celsius every week goes and buys from the market based on how many people chose to earn and sell. And I urge you guys every week. I urge you to switch. You want us to buy more Cell tokens every week? You want us to burn more? All you have to do is go to your wallet and click on Earn and Sell, and we will do much more. We'll be buying twice as much or 3 times as much, right? So I think what's confusing, like there are all these projects that call themselves, uh, they have governance and they have communities and they votes, but it doesn't mean anything, right? Because they really don't. None of those governance things do anything. Here, you are the governance. The governance of the price of Cell token is dictated by how many people on this call, how many people in the Celsius community, how many Celsians, how many ambassadors went into their app and switched to Earn and Sell. That's all that matters. And in 2 days, we're going to start activating for the first time Americans to Earn and Sell. $3.8 billion worth of assets are held by US accredited on the Celsius platform, and about half of them voted to Earn and Sell, and we'll be activating them starting 2 days from now, right? So you have to ask yourself, what happens when we start activating all of these people to Earn and Sell, and we every week have to go and buy more Cell?
Yep. No, that's awesome, Alex. That was actually one of my questions. Are we still on? According to Blockfolio, there's 200.
Those guys in Market Cap and many others, for some reason or another, do not want to report our actual circulating. There's the company holds 325 million. The community holds several more million within Celsius, and then there's kind of an unknown that has to be calculated. But yeah, those numbers are not correct.
Well, the community deposited on Celsius, I think that's a wallet right on our website. You can see it. I think it's like 220 or two. You can look it up right now.
Yeah.
250 or something like that million, right? So 325 plus 250 gets you to, But my point is that what's on exchanges, like Zach said, is definitely anywhere between 10 and 20 million tokens. That's it. Everything else is either sitting in wallets off a cold storage wallets or is on deposit with Celsius earning yield, right? So I think it's a very small number. That's why even a small increase in the demand resulting from people saying I want to earn and sell results in much more demand and much more pressure on the price to sell. So again, if you're US, you wanna earn and sell, you have to be accredited and you have to go to register and apply and fill up the forms. We can't just automatically click on the button and get you to earn and sell. You also, if you are accredited already, you have to give us instructions. So you have to send us something in writing. Again, you can send it to which email? I don't even know which email, but you have to send us instructions saying I would like to earn and sell, and those instructions, a written instruction, an email, is good enough for us to go and change it for you if you don't want to change it yourself, right? So if you don't know where, or you don't have access to the app for some reason, you can just send an email, and we'll do it for you.
Yeah, and it's going to be in the app on the My Sell page. You go to earnings, and that's where you can flip on sell, and I said that'll be going live in the next 2 days.
Okay, Zach, you just answered it. Awesome. Alex, I had one separate question. So a while back, you guys talked about a self-insurance program. Is that something you guys are still working on? And if so, any, updates on that and how that would work would be appreciated.
Yeah, so we have, as I mentioned, several initiatives on that. We have a CeFi initiative and a DeFi initiative. And our DeFi initiative is called Spartan. We have never talked about that before. So you guys can look it up. And so we are the backer or the large project behind Spartan, and that's the DeFi version. We're trying to also create a CeFi version, and we'll see which one launches first. But the idea is to basically provide the community enough options to choose from, and it needs to actually cover stuff. So we have coverage in GK8, but that's only for cold storage. We have coverage under our insurance policy for any kind of what's called errors and omissions. So that's people inside the company making a mistake. But besides that, we are trying to create something that will be community driven. So and to counterparties, right? That's really the difficult one. So if one of our borrowers doesn't pay back, we'll be able to go to this pool and use that capital to pay everybody back. And that pool should be big enough to cover our entire book, right? So everybody feels that they're never going to lose any assets. So we're still working on all of that.
All right. Thank you. I love the name Spartan. I'm a Michigan State alum, so you had me at Spartan.
Yep.
Thanks for coming up, Ace. Next up is Araceli.
Hi guys. Hello everyone. Alex, I met you over at the Vegas meetup. It was a pleasure meeting you. I'm the Latina ambassador. Anyone who hasn't been to one of the meetups, I really encourage you to go. They're awesome. They're so much fun. And then I just wanted to share an idea, Alex, that I have with you. Ever since I've been around in the spaces, I've noticed a lot of us have kids. And then even though they're not listening, they're around listening. And I've noticed with my daughter, she's 9 years old. And I thought, it came to my head, hey, what if Celsius creates something for kids, like from the age of, let's say, I don't know, 10 to 15 or 9 to 15, and start teaching them some about, the economy, how money works, about Celsius. It was just an idea that I'm just going to throw out there. I want to hear your opinion. And thank you so much for everything you do. It's changing our lives. I'm spreading the word in the Hispanic community, and we'll keep going. And once again, thank you.
Sure. No, thanks for joining today. And there is a children book called If You Give a Bull a Bitcoin. So if you go on Amazon and you search for that, I think it's a little bit younger, for a little bit younger audience than 9-year-olds. It's probably for like 3 to 5 or 3 to 7 years old. But it's actually a book about Celsius that somebody wrote, and I welcome all of you if you want to share that. I think it's only like $11. So if you want to share that as a kind of gift, a digital gift for other people, if you can't use CellPay, use Amazon to send this to other people to teach their kids about giving versus taking, and about Bitcoin and the bulls and the bears. So it's a very short, simple children's book that kind of the closest to what you were talking about. And they actually have a picture of me in it. They drew a picture of me. I don't know. So you have to decide if it's a good one or a bad one.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, one of our ambassadors actually the author of the book.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, well, hopefully in the future you can have like the Junior Celsius or something for kids, and have them have like Twitter Spaces. Josh can poll them, and it'll be awesome because the kids are always around, and it would be great for them to kind of feel or start teaching them, right? They're already listening, but it would be awesome if Celsius
Start them early. Yeah, I totally believe in that.